Hey, what's up? This is Tech Brothers. Today there are many interesting smartphones on the market. For example, LeEco Le Pro is equipped with Snapdragon 660 chipset, 6GB of RAM and bezel-less design, but I think it is overpriced. Are you ready to pay $450 for a smartphone from little-known Chinese manufacturer? I don't think so. As you know, the price of new smartphones drops in few months after the release. Why hurry up and buy a new phone at a high price if you can wait and buy it much cheaper? So I decided to choose top 10 old smartphones from 2017 or even 2016, which you can buy in 2018. Most of them are very good devices with flagship specification, while their prices are very low. In the description you can find links where to buy all the smartphones from this video. Let's start. The first smartphone in my top is LeEco Le Pro 3 Lite. I know that LeEco company doesn't exist anymore, however the smartphones are still on sale, and you can get very good device for a very low price. Of course, you will not get software updates, but you can install them for yourself. You need to find tutorial how to update the latest Android system on LeEco smartphone. LeEco Le Pro 3 Lite is powered by Snapdragon 820 chipset, 4GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. Just imagine, it has almost 150,000 points in Antutu. Also the smartphone comes with 5.5-inch Full HD display, 16-megapixel rear camera and 8-megapixel front camera. The price of smartphone is only $160. Can you find a new smartphone in 2018 with similar specifications and price? I don't think so. The next smartphone is also from LeEco company. It is called LeEco Le Max 2. The smartphone looks very similar to previous device, and it is powered by the same chipset, Snapdragon 820. However, LeEco Max 2 has 5.7-inch display with 2K resolution, 2560 by 1440 pixels. Also there is 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal memory. Now it is even cheaper than Le Pro 3, only $144. I cannot believe that LeEco company produced so great smartphones. If you don't trust LeEco, I understand you. Then what about ZTE, sub-brands called Nubia? It produces very interesting smartphones, such as Nubia Z11. It was released in the middle of 2016, however it has very good specifications. Nubia Z11 comes with 5.5-inch Full HD display, Snapdragon 820 processor, 4 or 6GB of RAM and 64GB of internal memory. Also there is 16-megapixel rear camera and 8-megapixel front camera. The smartphone scores about 130,000 points in Antutu. It is twice as much as LeEco Le Pro. Also, Nubia Z11 is twice cheaper than LeEco Le Pro, only $260. The next smartphone is also from ZTE company, but not from Nubia sub-brand. It is called ZTE Axon 7. The price is very strange because now it is about $330 on AliExpress, but a month ago it was only $230 on GearBest. However, even for $330, you will get 5.5-inch display with 2K resolution, 2560 by 1440 pixels, Snapdragon 820, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. One of the main features of this smartphone is camera. It has 20-megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture. It makes very good photos. Of course, our top list has Xiaomi smartphone. It is Xiaomi Mi 5S. For about $280, you will get compact smartphone with 5.15-inch display and Full HD resolution. Also, it is powered by Snapdragon 821 chipset, 3GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. The smartphone was released in 2016, but it already has USB Type-C port. Xiaomi Mi 5S has about 130,000 points in Antutu. It is really flagship smartphone for affordable price. The next smartphone is improved version of Xiaomi Mi 5S. It has bigger 5.7-inch display with Full HD resolution, the same processor, Snapdragon 821, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, and dual 13-megapixel camera on the back. It is good option for those who need bigger display. The price of Xiaomi Mi 5S Plus is almost the same as Mi 5S. Another smartphone from Nubia called Nubia Z17 Mini. Right now you can buy it for only $200. It is great price for smartphone with 5.2-inch Full HD display, Snapdragon 652 chipset, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal memory, dual 13-megapixel rear camera and 16-megapixel front camera. Nubia Z17 Mini was released in 2017, so it is not so old smartphone. I think it will have software updates. What about really flagship smartphone of 2017? LG G6 was one of the first smartphones with 18:9 aspect ratio. It comes with 5.7-inch display and 2K plus resolution 1440 by 2880 pixels. LG G6 is powered by a flagship processor Snapdragon 821, 4GB of RAM and up to 128GB of internal memory. Also there is dual 13-megapixel rear camera and 5-megapixel front camera. You may think that flagship smartphone is very expensive, but LG G6 is even cheaper than LeEco Le Pro, only $360. LG V20 is pretty old smartphone, but it has very good specifications. For only $200 you will get 5.7-inch display with 2K resolution, Snapdragon 820 chipset, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. The main feature of this smartphone is secondary display under the main one. It has 2.1-inch diagonal and shows different information, for example, new notifications, icons to popular apps and other. LG V20 is very interesting smartphone and its price only $200. I cannot believe it. The last smartphone for today is Huawei Honor 9 Lite. It is the newest device from this top. To be honest, it was released about 2 months ago, in December 2017. First, let's look at specification, and then you will try to guess its price. Honor 9 Lite has 5.7-inch display with Full HD Plus resolution, Kirin 659 chipset, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, dual rear camera and dual front camera. The smartphone comes with 80:9 display and thin bezels on sides. So how much does it cost? Only $200. In my opinion, it has very good features and very attractive price. As you can see, there are many interesting smartphones on the market. You shouldn't have looked for the latest devices, because as a rule, they are more expensive. The smartphones from the past years still have very good performance, cameras and design, while the prices are much lower. Thanks for watching. In the description you can find links where to buy these smartphones cheaper. Subscribe to our channel Tech Brothers.